This morning we got the second Pokemon Presents, which showed off Pokemon Unite, and the reactions were mixed, to say the very least. Hey, this is GatorEX, and yes, this morning, which you probably know, the Pokemon Presents revealed Pokemon Unite, a brand new game. It was really interesting to see a lot of the reactions to it. Okay, I've got a lot of thoughts on the topic myself. But first of all, for Pokemon Unite, it was the only game showed off, or the only new game showed off in this Pokemon Presents. And overall, honestly, I think it looks cool. I think it looks nice. Fine, at the very least. A brand new Pokemon game, and a MOBA at that, too. Now, this is coming from Pokemon's collaboration with Tencent, which is a Chinese game development studio. It kind of makes a little more sense. It's also going to be mobile and on the Switch, and it's going to be free to start. So a lot of interesting aspects going on. And as far as like visually, I think it looks fine. The fact it's going to be on the Switch, I do like. The thing is, though, mobile, I think it's going to be very obvious that it's going to be better to play it on the Switch than mobile. Like, overall, it looks nice. Me, personally, I do not play MOBAs. I think I tried League of Legends a while ago, or like a few years ago, and couldn't really get into it. But then again, I just didn't want to put the time into it. My friends are a lot more into it, though. But I think it's interesting. It's something that I've always thought would be kind of neat, or at least, an interesting fan game if that were to happen. But now it's actually official. Interesting looking game, and I say interesting too much, but a neat looking game. We got to look at some of the Pokemon, mostly Gen 1 Pokemon aside from Lucario and Talonflame. Lucario, I guess, kind of makes sense because, that's another very popular Pokemon. Some people were wondering why Talonflame was there. Honestly, let them have it. I really do hope that we get some more Pokemon for this game revealed. Very obviously, we are going to, but I'm hoping that the rest of them are much more than just Generation 1 Pokemon, which, they're fine, but it's a neat looking game. And like I said, I'm going to be playing it, and it is going to be neat, though, because for one thing, we don't really have a lot of games like this, right? We don't really have games that are very team focused for Pokemon, nothing like this, at least. Like in Pokemon, the big competitive games that they've always been the video game and the card game, and Pokken, the fighting game, has been introduced and supported a little more recently. It still is, right? But I feel like not many people talk about it. And so now we've got another game, a team-based game where you can have a team of 5 people, and very likely that's going to be like the 4 big games at Worlds and at Pokemon official tournaments. The thing is, though, I mentioned with Pokken Tournament, right? That game came out, it wasn't for everyone. This one, it came out, it's going to come out, and it's not going to be for everyone. But still, it's interesting to try new things. Now, of course, the big thing is the backlash for this. Currently, the trailer is very, very disliked on YouTube, and it's not for the fact of what this game is. The fact is, like I said, this game is not going to be for everyone, so if you don't like it, fine. But the problem is that how the reveal was handled. Because we did get a Pokemon Presents last week, right? And, that showed off a few games. And now we get here's the thing, though. So at the end of that last week's Pokemon Presents, they announced, oh, hey, next week we're going to do another Pokemon Presents. So, even more speculation. And, it's not solely based on people thinking, oh, we're going to get Sinnoh remakes. Oh, we're going to get Let's Go Johto. That was always unrealistic. And that's always going to be an unrealistic, for the rest of this year at least, that's always going to be an unrealistic expectation, right? The thing is that it had its own dedicated Pokemon Presents. And like I said, the whole thing was just Pokemon Unite. And for it to be something that's not for everybody, and I don't know why this was separate from the other. I guess, it could be based on, maybe the developers of this game, they wanted it, or they kind of maybe pushed Pokemon to give it its own presentation rather than sticking it with everything else just so it seems interesting. And if that's the case, then, that's unfortunate. That's not good. That's not good. But realistically, okay, 11-minute presentation last week, 11-minute presentation this week. They really could have just been combined into a 22-minute Pokemon Direct instead of like that. It could have been a full Direct, and on top of that, there would have been enough information for the most part. Again, 2 new games, 2 new spin-off games, big ones, Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Unite. If that were in a Direct, that would be like substantial enough. And then, some mobile games here and there, some updates for like the main games and Pokemon Go. Overall, that would have been a pretty solid Direct. Again, there wouldn't have been any, Let's Go Johto or Sinnoh remakes or anything. But that obviously wasn't going to happen. Again, the fact that this is one whole presentation just for this game, and it's a game that, like I said, is not for everybody. I've seen some complaints also about the way that it built up the beginning of this trailer, because it's very similar to, you know, Pokemon Sun and Moon and like Let's Go, where it's kind of I don't want to say nostalgia baiting, but it's kind of reminding you of things. You know, rewatching it, I can see that angle. I can definitely see that angle. But, you know, and, you know, at first when I was watching, I was like, what the heck, is this like a brand new game? I was a little scared because I said that definitely there wasn't going to be Let's Go Johto, there wasn't going to be Sinnoh remakes, and then I saw this and I got a little scared because it did look like it was for a main series game. But, you know, again, rewatching it, I kind of realized, like, it is a little more focused on competitive, right, and connection. And, you know, that's the thing, Pokemon Unite. This is basically the first team-based Pokemon game. And again, you know, there were raid battles before, and you know, raid battles in Pokemon Go and in Pokemon Sword and Shield. But as far as like having competitive support behind it, which it's very obvious that this is going to be competitive support, that's like what a lot of the trailer was building up to, connecting with people, you know, trading with them, you know, battling with them, you know, other things. And also it showed off a lot of like TCG stuff, the trading card game, which, you know, nothing else had ever really done. And if you watch the Pokemon Worlds, live streams, this is also similar to what they do with those. You know, between games, they have like kind of little music videos, I guess, where they show off footage of Worlds, of, you know, people at Worlds with Pokemon merchandise, playing the games, playing the card game. And so the little live action, the little trailer or the little piece before the trailer into Pokemon Unite makes some sense, because it is very competitive. It's more competitive focused. It's more team-based focused. That said, though, it just might have been better if they didn't include that portion at all. If they just got straight to saying, hey, this is Pokemon Unite. It's a MOBA game. Look, 5v5. You know, all these Pokemon. Here's some of the gameplay. Okay, cool. There's the trailer. It is unfortunate that it had to be this way. But, and you know, there's a lot more. I could say a lot more thoughts. Especially with what's been going on around a lot of Pokemon stuff. But like for the most part, if it had been one big Pokemon Direct that happened last week, nobody would have cared. Nobody would have been, well, okay, obviously there would have been people who said, what, a Pokemon mobile game? And, you know, especially, you know, could have had complaints about, what, by Tencent? What, it's free to start? And, you know, some valid complaints there. But if it had been attached to Pokemon New Snap, to freaking Pokemon Smile, if it were in the same presentation as Pokemon Smile, then Pokemon Smile would have been the most disappointing thing, honestly, you know, and Pokemon Unite would have been, oh, hey, that's pretty interesting, pretty cool. And definitely 100% big blunder by whoever was planning the marketing, whoever's planning the live streaming and stuff. But oh gosh, that's not a good foot to start off on. But I guess that's it for now. The discussion of that. Personally, I am looking forward to it. I'm going to be playing it. I've been looking for some games, some 5-player games for me and my friends to play, or for my friends and I to play. That's proper grammar. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on Pokemon Unite. I guess the situation around it, like, you know, the game itself is pretty neat, but the big discussion is everybody's thoughts around it, and it's something. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think of Pokemon Unite, and what you'd like to see going forward as far as Pokemon spin-offs go. Like, honestly, I think this is great. We're getting more Pokemon spin-offs. We got Pokemon Snap or Pokemon New Snap and Pokemon Unite, 2 games that are probably coming this year, hopefully, fingers crossed. I could not ask for more. And then again, you know, we're getting the DLC later on, more Crown Tundra, so that'll be neat. I'm going to be making some Crown Tundra videos soon, so stay tuned for that. And just let's hang out and chill in the comments. If you enjoyed the content, remember to leave a like and subscribe to show your support. You can enable notifications by clicking that bell icon next to the subscribe button. This will make sure you see each new video as it comes out, and will make you a member of the Chingling Squad. Anyway, this has been GatorEX. Have a nice day.